This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories.
And welcome to my video talking about mainly the June 1st releases. I think there's like one or two August 1st ones on here, but I'm going to just call this June 1st because it's going to be way too complicated in June and some August, but it's very clear there's one set I really want to talk about on this. I mentioned it on my community tab, and it was just revealed today. So let's go straight into this. And the first one to look at is the Marvel Advent Calendar. They haven't revealed everything that's going to be in it, and what they have revealed really isn't too special. It is Spider-Man themed, and I've passed on the past few Marvel Advent Calendars, and this one is easily the worst one of them, so I will not be getting this one. And then there's this another one that is really awful. It's this Groot. And yeah, I don't know why they've released so many different versions of Baby Groot over the last like 3 years, but I really don't think we need that many. This one it's an okay build, but really I don't ever plan on getting this one or any of the other Groot sets. None of them really look good, and it's just something I'm not really interested in. Up next, there's another pretty cool set, which is this one with Iron Man and two Iron Legion suits going up against Hydra base. And it looks cool, but I don't know, I might get this. I probably won't. And if I do, it's going to be in like over a year because there's so many other sets I'd rather get over Marvel sets, and if there's anything I'd get maybe a different one, but definitely not this one, and it's not a priority for me. This Searcher one, it's cool, but honestly, I'm not really gonna get it. It does look cool, and I do have some of the other Ragnarok sets, but again, there's so many other sets I'd rather have than these. So although they do look cool, and some of these are pretty cheap, I'm not going to be getting them. And the Milano here, this one looks really nice, as I said with the other ones. It's just not really a priority for me. The figures all look really cool, and the build looks amazing. It's just, I need to, be smart about my money, and this is just one that isn't a priority for me. And then there's this Avengers Leviathan. I think that, honestly, this looks really cool, and of all these, I might get this one. Being realistic, I don't know if I'll ever be able to get Avengers Tower, and that's because it's a really nice build, but honestly, there are sets I'd rather get so much more than that. And the same goes for the Venator, but I'll mention that in just a few minutes. And yeah, honestly, as I said, there is just some really nice stuff that comes with this. It would be cool to have a Leviathan, and I could have a Hulk to go alongside the Quinjet, which I did get as a gift, so I think it would be cool to go with that. I do have an older Avengers Tower, the one from the game, but yeah, honestly, I just have to be realistic, and there's no way I'd be able to get Avengers Tower, so I'd probably get this just to have a Leviathan since this looks really cool. But I do think that this one should have came with a version of Hawkeye because he's the only one we don't have in a cheaper set for the first Avengers film, and this includes Hulk, who was the only other figure that wasn't in the Quinjet. So this could have been a cool one to go alongside it, and that's just a little thing I wanted to mention. Let's move on to the next one. And this one is the Avengers Age of Ultron opening battle, and this one just looks really cool, but again, I'd rather get so many other sets than this one. So although this looks just really awesome, I'm gonna have to pass on it because, as I said, there's so many other sets I would rather get than this. But now let's move on to the DC sets. And here, the first one is a 4 plus Batcave. There's nothing special about this. It basically looks like every 4 plus Batcave that releases. And I don't think there's really any exclusive figures to it. Maybe the Joker. I can't fully tell. He might have the animated series jacket on, but I don't think he has the head or hair. But yeah, honestly, this one, It looks okay. I wonder why he's stealing kryptonite in this also, but yeah, they need to do more DC sets that aren't related to Batman because I definitely want to get some other DC characters, and most of those go for a good amount. But let's move on to the next interesting one, and that is a Batman mech. This looks pretty cool, and I'll eventually get this because it's like $10, but it's not a priority for me, especially with what's coming out on June 1st. So let's just move on to the next one because, as I said, this one looks cool. I'll eventually get it, but it's not a priority. Up next, we have the really cool Dark Knight buildable figure in Batpod. And while this is a cool set, I personally won't be getting it, but I may get a review on it because I know someone who will be getting it. So maybe I could borrow it for that. But yeah, honestly, it looks really nice and it is a cool design. It's just not a priority for me to get because, as I already know someone in my family who's going to get it, and there's other sets I'd rather get than this. And the final DC set was initially going to be a day one purchase for me, but I have to hold back on it because I'm spending a lot of money on June 1st, which, as I keep teasing, and it's also going to be the title, is the big set I'll be buying. But yeah, this is an awesome set. The animated series value looks amazing. The display stand is great. I am so glad that there's also an option to remove those giant stun shooters because they don't look great on this Batmobile. And I will be displaying it all with those. Mr. Freeze is the only exclusive figure, and honestly, I think that even though it's great to have him in this set, I would have rather had Catwoman in this set and him be in the Skyline set because I still do plan on getting that. I'm going to be waiting a little bit on that, but Mr. Freeze looks really cool in this, and with his importance to Batman the Animated Series and that redefining his character, I just think those two characters should have been switched around. But yeah, honestly, this looks really cool, and it's a nice way to get Harley Quinn and essentially the exact same Batman figure from the animated series set in a relatively cheap way. And yeah, honestly, the next one is a pretty cool mech and might be the best one they've ever made. That's Luke's X-Wing one. And this just looks so creative. They took the concept of an X-Wing and built it into a mech. And it looks so cool. It is so different and unique, and Lego's never really done something like it. But yeah, this is probably one of the most awesome mechs they've ever made, if not the best one. But let's talk about one that's going to make a lot of scalpers angry, and that is Captain Rex's Y-Wing Microfighter. And this is the exact same Rex that you can get in the Venator. And although I love the design of the Venator, I don't think I would be able to get that for the same reason as Avengers Tower. But I do want to get it, and the two ways I think I could possibly get it is if I get this channel monetized and through that either be able to save enough money or at a bare minimum use that to be able to join the Lego Ambassador Network. But yeah, those are really the only two ways I think I could manage to get this. Well, the big one, but I still want to have that Rex minifigure, so I'll be ordering one of these day one because I want to have that figure. And this is a really cheap set, and $10 isn't going to matter too much when I'm ordering something super big. But I'll be talking about it again in just a little bit. The next set to talk about is this really cool Mandalore battle pack. And this one just looks really cool and solid. It does connect with the next set I'll be talking about. And I'll eventually be getting at least one of these. And for the reason of I'm not getting any of these other June set first besides the Rex's Y-Wing and the one I'll be talking about at the end. I won't be getting this one immediately, but this looks awesome and I do want to get it. The next one is the Pez Vizsla versus Moff Gideon fight, which really would have been named Pez's Last Stand if they could have mentioned his death, but this is still an awesome set, and it's still another one I do want to get. And once again, the reason I am not getting this one immediately is due to the fact I'm getting that giant set that'll be discussed at the end of the video. I want to hype it up because I really can't wait to talk about that set. But this one looks cool. You can connect it to the battle pack, and you technically make an infinite loop of these if you buy enough. But yeah, honestly, it looks awesome. And let's move on to the next one. The Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar for this year has all this stuff revealed, and this is one I'm definitely going to buy. And I'm not sure if I'm going to get day one, but I'll get it before December and do daily reviews of it like I did last year. And yeah, this has some incredible figures, and there's really no bad decisions for this. Everything is just really cool. They have stuff built in the old form of sets, like the XWing, which looks like an older version of the set. As with the TIE Fighter, it also includes a mini kit, which is awesome. The figure selection is perfect, with it having a 501st Trooper, which is incredible, one of the Praetorian Guards, which is completely unexpected. A brand new B2 Super Battle Droid from earlier this year, so this is another way to get one of those. Ahsoka, which is an amazing inclusion, and these awesome Luke and Leia minifigures. So yeah, this looks awesome, and everything in here looks incredible. Everything with this is kind of a callback to some of the oldest Star Wars sets, with a few exceptions being looking like a U-Wing, Vader's Castle, and a Venator. Yeah, it also looks like, I think, Yoda Starfighter, and the Razor Crest, and maybe the show from Young Jedi Adventures. I can't tell what that's supposed to be. Kind of looks like that. And maybe Palpatine Shuttle, but besides that, a lot of these things, well, also probably the Ghost, but a lot of these are just references to original sets, which is honestly really cool. The final set to talk about is the Imperial Star Destroyer. This one looks awesome and has a great minifigure selection. I'm not sure if I'm going to just buy this set or if I'm just going to buy the Kel minifigure, because I do already have a Star Destroyer. It is the first one, so it'd be cool to have an updated version, but it all depends on how much the Kel minifigure goes for. If it goes for like $80, it's like half the price of this set, so I just spent an extra $80 and you get a few more minifigures and an entire Star Destroyer set. But if he's like $20, maybe 30, well, actually, honestly, if he's like under like 50, but honestly, I was gonna say probably like 30 or 40. I'm not sure exactly what my cutoff is gonna be, but if he's still relatively cheap on his own, I'll get him through that. But if not, I'm going to be buying this set since it would make sense to spend that much money just for one minifigure. But let's move on to the theme I really want to talk about, Lord of the Rings. And the first set is this Brickheads, which is Legolas and Gimli. This one looks really cool, and I will be getting it eventually, but I'm buying the biggest one of these, so I'm not going to be able to get this immediately, but it does look cool, and I do want to have it. And these are really nice figures. There's a nice design, and it looks really cool. The next set is one I will be getting since it's a gift with purchase. And even though I love this set and will be getting it, I do wish this was available to buy also. Because honestly, I'd probably get like 2 or 3 of these because this Fell Beast looks really cool. I think that, unless I'm missing something, it doesn't have an eye print or a sticker, and that's something it kind of does need. But really, besides that, this looks awesome, and I really do want to have this. It looks awesome to have a Nazgul there, or Ring Wraith if you want to call it that. I can't wait to have this because it is a gift with purchase, and this is probably going for a lot. So, although I'd love to have a second one, there's no way since I'm not buying 2 Barad-Dûrs. But now let's talk about Barad-Dûr. And Barad-Dûr, or the Dark Tower, it looks incredible. This is such a great build. Everything is perfect about this from the front side. And apparently, if you buy multiples of these, if you for some reason have the money to do that. You can extend the tower to be even taller, or you could bricklink pieces to just extend the tower at the top, because I think that's all you really have to do. And you can make other designs for the interior because they look pretty cool, but it's all basically stuff they had to create for the inside since we never really see inside of Barad-Dûr besides seeing inside the dungeon where Gollum is tortured. But yeah, let's take a look at a quick look at the backside and then the figures, and then I'll wrap things up because I'm definitely buying this. I have $200 in VIP points saved up, so I'm gonna be getting this for $260 instead of its retail price of $460. And I'm really excited to get this. As I said, it looks incredible. Well, let's take a quick look at the backside. Looking at the bottom three levels, there is the entrance, a kind of torture chamber where there's already a dead person in it, being a skeleton, and a forge. That's actually pretty cool, and I think that the skeleton is supposed to lower to open the door. The next floor has kind of like a cafeteria or like eating area, and I guess meets back on the menu boys, but let's move up to the next level of this, which is Sauron's throne, which also does open up, which I won't show here. I'll show it when I get my review done, to a map of Middle Earth and a Palantir. And looking at the next levels, you have a small area for the mouth of Sauron, and then another area which is kind of like a library. And you can also see the backside of the eye and the light brick. The next thing to talk about is the minifigures, and these are incredible. We have Gollum, which looks great. They do have this new design, and I don't know if it's the exact same torso and body that they used for the original theme, but he still looks really cool. Frodo and Sam are cool, but I do wish that they had a different torso print. It could have been the same one for their orc disguises, so they could have had the armor going on over it. Since they do have a small area they could stand on. Then there is a few different orcs, and those look really cool. The green ones I think are like a little bit cooler, but the other ones still look cool. Then we have Harvey Weinstein, and if you don't understand that reference, I'll totally explain it because it's a great story. The orc Gothmog was designed to look at like Harvey Weinstein, who is not a great guy, even back then, where he nearly ruined the Lord of the Rings trilogy by trying to force it to become one movie. And since Peter Jackson and everyone really hated him, they decided to make Gothmog look like Harvey Weinstein by making him as ugly as possible. It's just a fun story, and moving on to the two minifigures people probably want the most from this, which is the Mouth of Sauron, who goes for a lot, which I thankfully do own the original one of, so I can do a comparison. And then the figure that I think everyone wants the most, it's Sauron. This figure looks incredible. I think he is supposed to have an underside face print. I saw that in a different video talking about it. And yeah, honestly, this looks just incredible. I can't wait to get this. The eye looks incredible on top. The structure of the building looks amazing, and I can have way more praise to say, but I'll save that for my review. I will be buying this on May, I think it's May 31st. This month is 31 days, right? I don't feel like checking that, even though it's going to be really quick. I'll be buying it on May 31st at 11 Central Time, and I don't really care if I have work the next day. I'm buying this as soon as possible so I could get it as soon as possible. Sorry, my throat got really dry at the end of that last section recording, and yeah, honestly, my throat's kind of sore, so I'm just gonna finish this up. I really think this is awesome. Yeah, I want to know what you think. Please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next episode of Legends and Theories.
Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.